All right. Good morning, everybody logging in. I'm seeing some new names. If you're just logging in, let us know where you're joining us from. Where are you coming from? Good morning, Stacy Lee Warren. Man. Good morning. Good morning. Greenwood. Okay. Carmela Cheeks. Good morning. Jakar Ferguson. Good morning. What's up, brother? I'm glad you're here. I'm just going to be welcoming the early birds on. Alan Moore, good morning. I didn't say that name yet. ATL, baby. I love the ATL real estate market. Atlanta, Georgia, right? Alan Moore from Cincinnati in the house. Okay. We've got 35 people in counting. We're going to have some more people flooding in, but we're getting started, guys. Glad everyone is logging in. Let me get a couple of things ready.
What's up, Marlene? Glad you can make it.
All right, let's turn this funky jazz off and get right into it, guys. Now there's gonna be some more friends, family, guests logging in. My name is Umair Haq. I'm gonna be your host for this Saturday's property tour. We do this every single Saturday, highlighting real estate investors all across the country and their deals, and just kind of sharing our projects and where we're at with our investing careers with people every Saturday. So as more people log in, quickly I'm gonna introduce myself. Again, my name is Umair. I am your host. We're going to be interviewing and getting to know one of our investors. I'm just so excited about. I've known Ryan now for, I don't know, I guess it's been 5 years or so, maybe more. We met kind of how we're meeting today. We've been able to build a lot of good relationships with people all across the country. And, when Ryan started this, I'm not going to steal his thunder, but he was just looking to build wealth, protect his family, and not answer to anyone, right? And we've become really good friends. He's like a brother to me. I love him, and it's just been a fantastic journey watching him grow, doing deal after deal after deal. And just to see him take control of his finances the way he has been absolutely phenomenal. So as people are still logging in and stuff, without further ado, because I know that Ryan's got so many good things to talk about, I'm going to hand over the training and meeting over to Ryan, but you guys can ask questions in the chat box, and I will read them to Ryan as he goes through his deal, who he is, and how he's been able to leverage our knowledge, resources, tools to, 10x his life, 10x his income, and 10x just everything he's doing. So Ryan, my friend, go ahead and take it over, dude. Give him a big round from your computer. Woo!
Go for it, yeah. You know what? I'm going to talk you up a little bit because Umair, is stone cold killer in this business. He's a fantastic, leader. He's a leader of leaders. And I'm so proud to know you, brother. And I'm glad to be your guest here today on the property tour. I'm just going to dive into my story a little bit, folks. Let me share screen. Bam. Let's go ahead and do this, share. And we're going to head to a PowerPoint so I can show you all where it began. It began back whenever I watched my dad go to work every single day, slaving away, come home, hate his job, and take it out on his family. But other than that, you ever seen somebody work their entire life to retire on a fixed income to barely make ends meet? And then you see most of those folks have to go out and get another job and retire from that one as well. It's just kind of a failed plan these days. There was a point in time where that did work. It's just not right now. So I knew that it wasn't the life that I wanted to live. I joined the military, and I'm very, very thankful for that time. There's my uniform back there. That is the only professional experience that I came from prior to this. United States Army Infantry, Air Assault. Anybody else here that served our great nation, I'm going to say thank you for your service as well. But clearly, I didn't know anything about business ownership or real estate investing. but I've shot just about every weapon out there. I'm talking the automatic grenade launcher, the javelin. That was a good time. Whenever you shoot an $80,000 rocket on the government's dime, it's a good day. All right. So, and I was tired in the Army of checking my bank account. You get the USAA app. Oh, you want to go out with the boys? Check your bank account. You want to go buy something from the PX, maybe a piece of equipment that you need for training? Check your bank account. Every single day, you check your bank account. Oh, I was so tired of that. So I knew business ownership was the key. Don't ask me why. I just knew that all the business owners that I knew that had success, they own their time and they own their income. That's what I knew. So I got out of the military. And getting out, I just knew I wanted to be a business owner. So I started going to college. Unemployed for an entire year. Luckily, the Army was paying me to go to college. It's like $1,300 a month. And while I was in college, I have my degree in business administration with a focus on entrepreneurship. It's hanging on my wall right here just to tell people how worthless it is. And let me tell you why. They're just trying to teach you how to be a good employee. Now, there's college degrees that are very useful out there. But a degree in business administration with a focus on entrepreneurship is, oh man, they just teach you how to be a good employee. So I lost my sense of purpose whenever I got out of the Army. I was very depressed. Went into college, made me even more depressed. In Texas, I'm originally from Missouri, but here in Texas, it's a very private state. I'm an outdoorsman. I was just scrolling through Craigslist one day to buy some land to hunt because I'm a big hunter and fisherman. And you know what? I was like, I love real estate. So what does one person think they have to do? I got all my certificates to be a licensed real estate agent. And about 8 weeks later, I went down to take the final proctor test. And I was like, wait a minute. I don't know why this took 8 weeks to figure out, but I was like, I don't want to be a real estate agent just representing buyers and sellers. Like, I need to be that person that owns the property and profits off the property. That's who I needed to be. I didn't even know what a real estate investor was. And so at that point, I Googled it, and then I went back to Austin and went to a networking event where I was getting pitched a 4-day boot camp for $8,000. I know us military guys can take notes fast, but not that fast. 4 days, $8,000. Is this for real right now? And they didn't care about your funding options. They didn't care about any of that. They're just like, come to the back of the room, swipe your card. It was brutal. And so I was like, real estate investing education, it's one of those cutthroat businesses. Essentially, I was butthurt. That's what I was. And so, I didn't give up on it. I actually found this message on Craigslist that said, earn and learn real estate investing. Replied to that ad, and I was like, you know what? This is probably full of crap, but let's see what it's all about. It seems to be the answer in my prayers. Everything that it said. So I replied to it. This guy, Casey, out of Minnesota, calls me, and he's like, we got this webinar and this webinar. And I'm like, look, man, how much does it cost? Except it was a lot more vulgar than that. I'm not going to bring that onto this webinar. Yeah, it was vulgar. I had an army mouth on me. Anyways, I ended up getting hung up on. And you know what? I was like, this guy just hung up the phone on me. I kind of like it. And so I went through all the information about this group that you're here today with, and it was everything that I could ever wanted. It had every little key component that I needed for success. It gave me a direct path because there's books, podcasts, forums out there. You have Joe Schmo in this video saying one thing. You have Joe Schmo in this video saying another thing. There was no clear path. This group provided me a clear path. All I had to do, and this is what I did in the Army, was I took my orders and I went and executed. That's what you do in this business with this group. You get your orders and you go execute. So that was huge for me with no time limit. It's not like you had to fly out somewhere and, do your 4 days, take as many notes as you can, as fast as you can. No, there's no time limit with y'all working with us. So you get the information and you go execute, and you're learning from people that lead by example. That is one of the biggest things for me. I don't want to listen to anybody that I wouldn't trade places with. And being a leader is, just as a non-commissioned officer in the Army, you would never ask your troops to do something that you wouldn't do yourself or haven't done before. I needed to learn from individuals like that, individuals that were vetted. And so moving forward, scared out of my mind. This is the first entrepreneur in our whole Dodge family. That's me. So moving forward, this is me getting my business off the ground. You know, get two beautiful boys because of this community. Now we live on the lake. I got the shop over here with the muscle car in it. I have the boat on the other side of the house. And whenever my son wakes up in the morning, this is him right here. And he's like, Daddy, fish, fish. On a Monday morning, we go fishing. I did my first deal within the first year, which is 30K in profit. And talk about this coming into my life, the exact time that I needed it. The first foreclosure that I ever prevented was my own parents. Remember how I was telling you whenever they were retired, there was a fixed income and they're barely making ends meet. The first foreclosure that I ever prevented was my own parents. And I helped them to pay off over $15,000 in medical debt. Because even whenever you dedicate your life to a company, it's like pulling teeth to get help whenever something goes wrong with insurance. So my wife, I fired her the second year. I picked up a 14-unit apartment complex my second year. It was an amazing day. I remember that. And then moving forward, I've been with this group for a little over 6 years. And I'm at this transaction that I'm showing you today will be my 222nd transaction. And the one thing that our founder of this group said to me was, Ryan, you're going to be successful. You need to make sure that you're a good steward of that money. I should have listened to him. I've seen a lot of success, but I was so charitable with it. And it's not a bad thing. I was tipping waiters $100, paying for everybody's meal at a restaurant. Like, it was crazy. I was going shopping sprees for my wife. You know what, guys? If you get started with our group, you're going to see a lot of financial success. Make sure you listen to that piece of advice. You know, be a good steward of that money. But I do have stuff to show for it. But like Umair, how many doors do you have, brother?
At 26.
26. I should have 26 single-family buy and holds paid for free and clear. I just sold my 14 doors. Now I'm down to 0 and rebuilding. But flipping, folks, this is my favorite thing in the world to do. Your long-term wealth is built in your buy and hold, but flipping houses, I think it came from that first flip that I ever did, which was my parents. But I love working with distressed sellers. And flipping homes is way more passive than you could ever imagine. You guys want to know what I do? I go in and I cut checks twice a week. That's what I do. I go in and cut checks to this house that's 30 minutes down the road twice a week. Could you do that for this profit? So we're going to move into this deal right now. This is what we're going to do. And I'll show you pictures of it here in a bit.
Ryan, you mind asking some questions as you're going through it, just to help all our viewers? So is this a single family home you flipped, dude?
Yeah, and I forgot to tell people I got my sense of purpose back, and I haven't reported to a job in the past 7 years. Awesome. But yeah, go ahead.
It's a single family home?
Yeah, it's a single family home.
Got it.
Fix and flip. Yeah. And so yes, this is a textbook fix and flip, folks. So we're going to talk about how we found the deal, funded the deal, repairs, after repair value. So the first thing that I want to tell you about finding the deal is that out of the over 200 transactions that I've done, which keep in mind, that's any sort of deal that's put money in my pocket or in our bank account. Not all of those deals were like this one. I promise you that. But found the deal from a wholesaler within our group. So we're moving properties within our group. The mayor does deals with, folks in the community. I think he's a huge leader now, so he doesn't really need to, but folks within his group move properties to each other. Folks within our group and folks all across the nation move properties to each other. I'm going to say, at least 1/3 of the deals that I've done were brought to me because of our group. Yeah, our community across the nation. We move properties to each other. And as far as the other wholesalers out there, I'm telling you what, out of those over 200 deals, I've done 3 deals from wholesalers. And it's a huge problem out there because we have a bunch of YouTube babies. I said it. They don't know what they're doing out there because they have Joe Schmo over here saying this, Joe Schmo over here saying this in this video, and they just take blind action and burn their entire buyers list before they even have a chance to see success. So there's a horrible wholesaling pandemic out there. But you can still find the ones that know what they're doing, the unicorns. You just got to get around educated individuals. So the wholesaler on this deal is making $25,000, and us at a bare minimum are making $60,000. And look, I want to tell you about this bare minimum. This is the worst case scenario, the absolute worst case scenario. That's how we run our businesses, off a worst case scenario, because we don't lose money on deals. We don't. And so this 60,000, look, we're projecting that we're going to make $100,000 on this deal. That's where the market is going right now. I can't promise you guys that we're going to make $100,000 on this deal, but I'm pretty good at letting folks know what it's going to be whenever we go to close. So, yeah, we'll keep you posted on that. I feel as if this is going to be a $100,000 deal, and this is what it's lining up to be. Because this rehab budget here, or repair cost, we got this down to 25, and we have a sales price right here of 480. We're actually going to sell this at 500,000. I'll show you the comp here in a second. So the purchase price is 325,000. That's what we bought it for from a wholesaler. She made 25. I'm proud of her. You know what? You should never care what a wholesaler makes, as long as the numbers work for you as the buyer. The more money they make and it still works for me, the more happier that I am for them. All right. So repair cost 35,000, and we're going to sales price is 480, but we're actually going to list this at about 495, and it's going to go for over that. And so you got your pre-tax net profit here at 60,000. It's going to be higher than that. Capital committed is 372, and that means, let me tell you guys about this. I do all of these deals with none of my own money and none of my own credit. What is my return on this deal if I use none of my own money? Somebody tell me, and I'm going to go to
Infinite.
That's right. Somebody said it. It's infinite. Where are you going to get those returns at, folks? I mean, I spent a little bit of my time. Just a little bit of my time. Heck, I might spend less time on this fix and flip than you do dealing with a property management company that's, reporting an issue within one of your properties. That's the truth. People think that fix and flip is so complex. You're not swinging a hammer. Just go there and cut checks. And I'm going to show you what checks I'm cutting. I'm going to show you what a line item bid is. Let me just go through these before pictures. So the capital committed, I have people that fund my deals, and I got a guy in Seattle. I got a girl in St. Louis. I got my business partner, Keith. I'm going to tell his story here in a minute. I've never had a partner my entire flipping career until I met this guy, in our expansion part of our group. There's an expansion part of our group where you can make money. And I met him through that. And then he turned around and funded 3 of my deals. And then I'm going to go ahead and say it, Keith Langsgrove. That's the guy at the beginning. That is my best friend. I met him through our expansion side of our business. He's Marine Corps infantry. I'm an Army infantryman. We get together and we just smash it. We crush it out of the park. We're beating to the same drum, the same battle rhythm. So we go out there and we crush it together. And when it comes to that, not only did it pay me 10 grand whenever he got started with our group, but then he turned around and funded 3 of my deals. We became best friends. Keith ran a business in California with over 100 employees. So not everybody enters this business in a position to fund people's deals, but he did. And you know what? If you're in that position and you got a lot of money sitting around, you should want to work with educated real estate investors. The fastest way to lose your money is working with somebody that has no idea what they're doing. That is the fastest way to lose your money. That's pretty much gambling. You might as well go sit at a poker table with that money. All right. So come hang out with seasoned real estate investors, experienced real estate investors. This guy had his money paid back to him within the first month without even opening his education, without even working with our group yet, really. And it was awesome. And so anyways, he got tired of babysitting over 100 employees. So he cashed out of his business, moved down here to Texas. I found him a property, which, by the way, he paid me 18 grand, and he walked into over $50,000 in equity after paying me that 18 grand. And then we started a partnership together. It's First to Fight. That's our LLC. My S Corp is Centex REIG Inc., and our partnership is First to Fight. It's so amazing. That's a military term. And so really, our effort went way down. Because if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go with a team. So this deal right here, I've done plenty of them all by myself. But it's nice whenever you have a partner. You know, the only ship that's meant to sink is a partnership. So I'm definitely not ever going to pitch you on having a partner, ever. This has just happened to be the perfect scenario. All right. So Keith does real estate full time now, and he has his time with his family. Here's the property. I'm going to talk about how you see how rural this is. Most, probably like 60% of hard money lenders would not have funded this deal just because they don't know what they don't know. They would look where it's located at and be like, oh, this is too rural. That's what they don't know what they don't know. They're just looking at it. Hey, this is too rural. This is how many people are in this city, in this town. And by the way, I've never even had to go to a hard money lender in the past 6.5 years. Never. It's all private money. I show them a CMA, a contractor bid, and a pro forma, which I just showed you. The pro forma lays out the numbers on the deal, the worst case scenario numbers. And we're going to talk about these rural transactions. This is in a town/city called Burnet, Texas. Let's get through these pictures first. Can you tell I have ADD? What? This house is originally 1,700 square feet. This back here is a wood shop in the house. I'm going to show you a different picture of that. And we're going to talk about the comp. It's really weird for a house of this caliber to be on pier and beam. But you know what? This pier and beam is really nice. It makes it real easy to run some more plumbing or anything along those lines. And it's done the right way. It's done so well. So there's nothing wrong with having a pier and beam house of this size and of this caliber. It's just the way they wanted to do it. All of these homes in this neighborhood are done the way that they want it to be done. It's custom home builders. And another thing I want to tell you about this neighborhood is it's a golf course neighborhood. So you could take the golf course from this house to, or the golf cart from this house and go right down the street and play golf. There's a private airstrip a half a mile from this house. You guys wouldn't believe how many people here in Hill Country in Texas have their own plane. I'll be down here fishing on the lake, and there'll be planes, every once in a while, not very often, that'll land here on the lake because they have the water skids on the bottom of it. These people have money that live around here. So anyways, here's the entry point to the house. You guys seen the front of the house where there's a wraparound driveway. You see how those trees were covering it up? I've already chopped those trees down, not literally cut them down. I'm talking I trimmed them up so we could see the front of the house a lot better. A beautiful front door. Usually on our flips, we completely just take out the front door and put a whole new one in. But obviously, it's a pretty nice front door, right? Oh, sorry. Go back. Jeez. I don't know if we have time. This yard looks rowdy, huh? How did the wholesaler find this? You can see it wasn't taken care of. She found this through probate. And with our group, most people that don't know probate like we do, they have to go down to the courthouse to make this happen. What you're going to learn with our group is how to index them online. So you're not even leaving your house to find probate leads. And we have software that'll take care of it for you. But you know what? Sometimes software misses a few golden properties that you don't want to miss. So what you're going to learn through our group in Creative Acquisitions is how to index those probate leads online. It was a Hispanic couple, and the husband or his wife passed, and then him, not much longer, just a few months later, he passed as well. The kids are doing really well for themselves. They live in Lago Vista, which anybody that lives in Lago, they do well for themselves. And so, he didn't want to even deal with this property. Just like, I want it on. I didn't want to deal with it. I didn't want to deal with cleaning it. I didn't want to deal with any of that. So they responded to Jackie's probate letter, and she went over there and she's like, oh, this is too nice. I doubt I'm going to get this deal. But she did. She got it for $300,000, went to in our group because she knows it. And she got paid, and we're going to get paid. My internet connection is unstable. 1 second. All right. There's the circle
Take,
drive.
take us through these pictures, Ryan, so we can get to the.
Yeah, there's the comp. Everybody needs to know this is the comp right here. South comp. All right. You have deer in your yard, your kitchen. Oops. Hold up. Floors are garbage. Those had to come out. The floors are, I mean, we picked this property up just a week ago. The floors are already out. These folks, our team is already halfway through this property. Already halfway through.
So Ryan, you're just, yeah, because I didn't ask you this. So you're just getting started with this project here.
Yeah, this was a week ago that we closed on this. All these floors are up. And let me tell you guys what we're going to do with the inside of this property. All new outlets and switches. Those walls are going to be network gray. Have you ever seen the house that you see on the MLS that's gray with the bright white base trim? And some of you might, I hate those houses. Well, guess what? It's not about whether you like it or not. It's about what appeals to everybody the most. And that's neutral colors. That's what that is. And this right here is going to be some Alaskan stone. It's going to be like little stones right there behind the wood stove here. I mean, stone. This is going to be stone, not tile. Tile is way too janky for a $500,000 house. So that's going to be stone. Are you going to say something, Amir?
No, I was just kind of watching as you're going through this. This is exciting.
This is going to be 1x1 base trim, not this whatever's going on here. It's going to be bright white. We're going to have a stone feature right here as well. Kitchen's going to stay the same. Those cabinets are amazing. Those are great cabinets. All right. Here's the wood shop. This is really what I wanted to show you guys. On tax records, the reason why this house is like 1,700 square feet or whatever it is right now, I don't have that at the top of my head, is because this is not considered living space, but it is now because we ripped out this wall here behind here, and we're making a walk-in shower. There'll be a vanity over here, and we built a walk-in closet back this way. Let me see if that picture, yeah. So this is facing the other way. This is a walk-in closet now. All of this is taken out. There is a double door right here. We replaced that with a sliding glass door. We're gonna have a giant, this is gonna be the first master, and the other one's gonna be the second master. There's gonna be a huge fan in here. There's gonna be recessed lighting in here. We're going to do a barnwood floor, very neutral colors. And we're going to use luxury vinyl planking, really nice ones. Because if you're selling a house for $500,000, you better not have 5mm LVP in there. This is like 25mm LVP. It's really good stuff. It's high end. Let's see what's going on here. I already took care of the yard. I think we're already through the pictures. Yeah, we're already through the pictures.
Now you got some pictures of the during to show us?
No, just know that all the demo is done.
Okay.
You guys can go to my Facebook page, Syntex REIG Inc. Okay. And like here within the next couple days, I'll do a walkthrough video. Cool. I did one.
Well, Ryan, what we'll do, buddy, is when right before you're getting ready to list this thing, we should have another property tour. Maybe you could go there and walk us through your magic. We'd love that.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this comp. Let's go to the 500,000. And the reason why you're not going to pay attention to any of these other comps, remember, this is more of a rural deal. So the only true comp is the one that's right next to it. All the other ones are like 15 miles away. So those are not comps. The comp is the one right across the street. So we're going to be at 2,618 square feet, I believe. Let me see what this one is. 108 Cam Larry. Where's the square footage here? 2,736. Ours is going to be 2,618. Let's see what I was going to say here. So we're going to be right there on square footage. It is a little bit of a newer build. Ours is going to be. What else do I want to say here?
A lot of times it's about the the finishes that you add, and it sounds like you guys, like you said, you're going to have 2 masters. You're going to be adding good crown molding. You're going to be redoing the flooring. So a lot of times what you do to that property increases the value in the purchase price. So
Absolutely. This is what I meant to say, is that this is a 4-bedroom, 4-bath. Ours is going to be a 4-bedroom, 3-bath. All right. But here's the thing, over the past year, how much have you guys seen the market appreciate? And you're never banking off appreciation, not ever. So we really do expect this to go over 500,000. Whenever I say 500,000, that means that we're going to sell there. And worst case scenario, if the market just crashes, we're going to sell at 480, like I put in the pro forma. But we really do expect this to go higher. This area is high demand because everything that's going on in the city of Austin right now, we're not going to get into politics or anything like that, but people are moving out of these areas and they're getting on those little slices of land and private communities. They have the money to do it. The demand is there. It's so high. This house was under contract within the first 3 days and they listed it at 495. They totally could have got more, but they sold it at 500. They sold it at 500. And so just imagine what this is going to look like now with our property. So very, very comparable. This is apples to apples, minus a few, minus 100 something square feet and 1 bathroom. That's it. All right, moving
Ryan,
forward.
you hit it on the button when you said people are looking for houses just like this. Because of COVID, they're wanting to be in more rural areas. Because of certain demographics, they're flocking to Texas. So man, this is going to be great. I cannot wait to see what happens with this.
Yeah, so Austin right now, I'm gonna tell you guys, I'm not a city person, but Austin is a beautiful city. If you've never visited, don't come visit now. Wait until it gets a little cleaned up. But when COVID hit, I went down to Austin a few weeks ago, and it just looks like a ghost town. It's horrible right now. You got a bunch of buildings that are boarded up. I never thought I would ever see Austin like that in my life, not ever. So people are moving out. That's it. So we found the deal, funded the deal. We funded the deal with private money. I'm going to tell you the return that we're giving them. So the first investor at $300,000, which is in the first lien position, we're giving them a 14% annualized return on their money. And that's prorated per day. So the note is for 6 months, but we do it in 4 months. We're going to do this in 4 months. Now, that's what we're paying them for. We're paying that 14% on there. And then the second person, which came up with the rest of the acquisition and rehab budget, she's going to get a 12% return on her investment. She's in the second lien position. So found the deal, funded the deal, repairs. Our repair budget, we're pretty sure at this point it's going to be $25,000. I've gotten so good at flipping houses, folks. I usually don't even need my contractors to be there. I'm going to be like, this is $40,000. I'm always on the money. It's a little conservative. And we're very fortunate, me and Keith, because we get a military discount at Home Depot. But if y'all didn't know this, if you're spending more than $1,500, or it might be $1,800, you go to the pro desk and you go to the bidding room. So they'll discount your materials. So found the deal, funded the deal, repairs. Everything is neutral in the home. I pretty much covered what we're going to do. Repairs, profit. All right. Found the deal, funded the deal, repairs, after repair value, profit margin. Profit margin is going to be more like 80 to 100. Whenever you guys have a deeply discounted deal like this, it's so deeply discounted. Do you think you have to work your numbers all the way down to the T, like spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours on it? No, not at all. I mean, half this building could fall over, even though insurance would cover it. But still, our profit is so high, we get it done. You don't have to.
That's one of the keys. And Ryan, let me just butt in real quick. That's one of the keys of being a good real estate investor, man. You guys gotta find good deals. And what we see over and over and over is people wanting to get into the real estate game are shopping on the MLS. Their margins are slim, and they end up losing money. And that's why it's just so important to be educated on, like what Ryan said was so important, guys. Private money, hard money, partnerships, structuring deals, understanding your tax consequences. I mean, this is gold. And one thing I'd love for you to touch on, A couple people asked about your analysis and your sheet. Do you want to touch on how you analyze your stuff using our
Well,
investor?
yeah, I use software. You guys are going to find out that I am one of the most old school young guys that you meet. I'm only 31 years old. I started this when I was 24, pretty much. But I'm super old school. So the software that we use in our community, I've used it so much when it comes to pro formas. That lays the numbers out for the deal. So whenever I'm raising private money, they see how the deal is going to unfold. And I walk through and I talk about it. And at that point, it's a no-brainer, literally a no-brainer. Like there's no reason they shouldn't fund it because they're not going to find those returns anywhere else. Whenever you become an educated investor, people should be begging to fund your deals, literally. All right, because they're not going to find that return anywhere else. There's something else that I wanted to show you guys. Oh, investor packet. And let me go to one more thing.
So it sounds like, Ryan, as you're finding that, you're building out your numbers up front, you're structuring the deal, you're using the power of the community and relationships to make the deals happen. And you've basically got it down to a science. And with your private capital investors, it looks like you're putting a package together and you know your numbers when you buy. And that's why you've been successful and you've done over 200 deals. Like this is gold. I love it. And some people were asking about our investor operating system. A lot of the investors in our group use it. We have a separate meeting that talks all about that. So if this is your first meeting in our team and in our group, you're going to want to contact whoever got you to this property tour and ask them, hey, look, I'd like to attend and learn more about that, right? It's all about getting information and then doing stuff with it. Go ahead, Ryan.
I want everybody to know that I talk about this deal like it's easy, but you guys got to understand that I've done so many deals.
Yeah.
Do not think that you can go and flip a house tomorrow because I'm sitting here talking about it like it's completely easy. You'll get to a point, you just got to get educated first. That's what makes deals easier and easier. And that's what helps you to pull the trigger is whenever you have the right knowledge, you have the confidence. So this is just a property tour, all right? So here's my investor packet. Remember whenever I told you I'm old school? I keep everything when it comes to this deal. I keep the original contract. I keep the original contractor bid, keep the insurance in here, keep everything in here. So that way you don't have to worry about emails going missing, this, that, and another. It's all right here on paper. That saved my butt in the past for sure. Let me talk about a line item bid. This is a huge golden nugget that everybody here needs to understand. Even if you ever do repairs at your own house, you need to understand this. Never pay a contractor up front, not ever. You go get the materials that they need. They don't need your 50% down. They don't need your 25% down. They don't need any of your money down. You know what you offer them? Hey, I'm going to go get the materials and you're going to get paid per line item. So this is a line item, all the tear out. This is pretty much demo right here. I go in and visually inspect to make sure that the demo, the tear out stuff that's in this line item is done. And then I cut the check for that line item and just so on and so forth. This prevents you from getting screwed, and it prevents even the contractor from getting screwed. Some contractors don't even understand the benefit of a line item bid. And here's a few. It does keep them from getting screwed. And you know what? If some crazy investor out there that doesn't take care of their contractors decides to not cut them a check for that one line item, that's probably a pretty good indicator that that contractor should pick up their stuff and leave until they pay that line item out. Another thing is it obviously keeps you from getting screwed, right? Because if they don't complete that line item, you're not going to cut the check, period. All right, this keeps everything. Another huge benefit to the contractor. The more line items that they complete, the faster that they get paid. Yeah, you ever think of that? So line item bid for everything that you guys do, even if it's repairs for your own home, that is a huge golden nugget. So found the deal, front of the deal, repairs, after repair value, profit margin. I just want to answer a few questions.
Yeah.
That's
Now,
it.
while you're there, Ryan, I just wanted to talk about contractors as well. Um, if you're, and I love the way that you're doing it because, if you have to fire them, you fire them. Because what's happened in the past with people who just didn't know what they were doing is they'll hire a contractor, and if the contract doesn't get fulfilled, a lot of times it can end up in court. And if you're in a fix and flip and a contractor has a lien on your property, that's going to forbid you from selling it, and it can just turn into a big financial nightmare. So I absolutely love the way Ryan is doing it and how he's learned to work with contractors using our coursework and education. So this has been good. Let me read off some questions from the chat box for you. Let's see what we've got. We've got said that's super cool. Don't pay in advance. You just helped someone get paid per line item. Knowledge is power. Doug says he can't hear me. Hopefully you guys can all hear me. John Smith says real estate syndicate formation. What's that? Well, we didn't talk about syndications, and that's raising capital at a higher level, but
You don't need anything syndicated when you're flipping houses.
you don't.
I'm doing, and I want to point something out. Just imagine doing 5 or 6 of these at one time. I don't know why that popped into my head, but everybody imagine what deal flow looks like.
You can really build. It popped into your head, Ryan, because it's giving people a vision of, even if we're doing a flip or 2 part-time, guys, you're going to do this part-time till you start making tons of money with it. But when you get to the point, if you want to build a fix and flip business model, the more you get into it, and when you have the ability to scale, you can really create a huge revenue stream, right? Which will allow you to have the freedom or the control or the time with the family or whatever it is, why you're getting into this in the first place. So I love it.
Everybody notice how I have one tab in my email that I created for this deal, and every document associated with this deal goes to that tab. Yeah. Everybody know that.
So we've got another question. Alan Moore, what's the software you use to create the pro forma? It's something, Alan, it's something called the Investor Operating System. It's proprietary stuff that our group has, and we will make sure to get you the information to see exactly how it works. Okay.
I'm still here.
Yep. Joe M. Palekos, hopefully I didn't
know. What's up, brother?
I am new, but want to actually create a system to not flip, but to create rentals and home ownership for our family to grow generational wealth. Joe, that's awesome, dude. I'm not a flipper. I mean, I've done flips, I've done land development, but we live off of our rental business, right? So rental, and I can pass those rentals down generation after generation after generation. So
Umair, let me talk to him about how I became a homeowner. I became a homeowner because of this community. I originally built our business out of a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment in Austin, Texas that was like 618 square feet. And I became a homeowner because of strategy that you're going to learn in creative acquisitions with our group, where I bought the house for $18, moved into it. So I took deed and ownership of the property. And then the existing payments, her mortgage was still attached to the property. So I'm making her payments $500 a month. Our rent at our apartment was $800 a month. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, huge yard, just about an acre. Even had a carport and a garage. And then on top of that, had a huge fenced backyard. We moved right into that house, lived there for 3 years, making the existing payments, and sold it and made $87,000 in profit just 2 years ago.
Wow.
Who wants to do deals like that? I'll take 100 more.
Gold. So you used, so you don't have to get into your own family home using a bank. What I just heard is, guys, there's creative acquisition strategies available to people. It's just that most Americans don't even recognize or understand what they can do, right? It's not taught in regular schools. And with that being said, guys, right after this property tour, if you guys have the time today, and if this is your first time meeting us, I'm going to be doing an introduction training and meeting explaining how our group functions. So if you guys would like to join me in the introduction to our real estate investing group right today, Right at 12:05, you're more than welcome to come. You're just going to contact who got you here. All right. So
The
this has been
meeting, the meeting that Umair is talking about is so powerful. Like, I can't imagine where I would be today if I didn't go to the introduction Umair is talking about.
yeah.
Whew.
All right, guys, this has been awesome. I've got a chance to learn a lot. We heard so many good stories, Ryan. We heard partnership stories. We heard about how Ryan was able to help his own parents. Oh God, that was amazing. We also learned how Ryan and his family, they were able to help themselves become homeowners by tuning in, plugging in, being a part of the group. And it just made me so grateful, man. It just, because me and you have similar stories, except I was about to become a Marine, but I didn't.
You could do it with those washboard abs. You just bust them out and they'll be like, sign the papers.
Yeah,
One thing else is that we help people, right? And this is a huge part. I told you I was depressed after the Army because you lose your sense of purpose. The more people that I help out there in real estate just happens to be the more money that I make. Most amazing feeling for me in the world is whenever I help that distressed seller. That house that I sold for $87,000 in profit, that lady thanked me so hardcore at the end because if I didn't step in, her credit would have been ruined for the next 10 years of her life.
That's amazing. And so we had another quick question. And Alvin Howard, do you require contractors to sign a lien release waiver? Right? Yes.
For sure.
Yeah, of course. Right? Because you don't want them putting a lien on your property.
And I'll say this, sometimes, like, I'll tell you what, guys, I'm so squared away. They know, because I bring this bid with me and everything with me whenever I go to cut checks. Nobody would dare try to put a lien on one of my properties. Not ever. They know they would be smashed.
They know they would be smashed. I love it, Ryan. Dude, you're just awesome. All right, guys. Well, are there any other questions for Ryan, right? About fixing and flipping, about his story, about his partnership? I mean, it looks like what he's doing is really understanding knowledge and then plugging it in where it makes sense, right? Whether it's to build relationships here or help other people get into real estate investing.
Everybody needs these relationships that are here in this group. It's powerful. Your network is your net worth. You ever heard of that?
Heck yeah, dude.
These relationships are priceless.
Good. So the intro, guys, if you're going to be joining me, it's about an hour to even 90 minutes, depending on questions. I go into stuff, right? I talk about the functionality of the group. I talk about how I got educated, how Ryan got educated, how we got into this whole thing. And now, even though he's in Texas, we're brothers. We hang out. We're friends. I mean, we have each other's number. Like,
we go to Mexico.
We go to Mexico. We take a trip to Mexico together every year. And we want to build those long-term relationships with the right people. That's exactly why we're doing what we're doing. All right.
Thank you. Hey, brother. Thank you for having me out here. And what people don't know is I had brain surgery 2 years ago. So if you heard me stutter a little bit during the meeting, every day that I get to add value to folks like you, it helps me become better so I can go out there and help more and more people. So I'm so thankful, Umair, for you having me out here today, because it not just helped other people, it really helped me. Thank you all.
And it's just like, and I know you're such a tough guy that you don't ever talk about, you had brain surgery and the things you've gone through, and you're still just killing it as an entrepreneur. And so it's the stuff that people don't see, right? That you're open to talk about. Like, I didn't even mention I was going to bring it up, but yeah, you've been through the ringer and you're still standing. You're a champ. And I'm grateful that you were able to do this for us and just hang out with people and love people and just tell them, it doesn't happen overnight. But when you have the strength of people who actually care, powered by a way of learning, possibilities are endless, man. Possibilities are freaking endless. So we got a lot here in the chat, guys. Samantha says, you're amazing, Ryan. Thank you for doing this. Thank you. God is awesome. God is great. Jason Brown, you're an inspiration to those of us who want to be where you are. Amazing, guys.
Very
Guys,
blessed.
it is 11:50. I've got to get ready for our introduction training. I hope to see you there. We're going to hang out. We're going to go through our model. Thank you for spending some time with us on Saturday. I look forward to meeting you in person or meeting you on more of our online events. And we can't create success for you, but you sure can. So you're here getting information, and I'd love to see you get plugged in with our team. Have a fantastic Saturday in case we don't see you on the next training. Again, if you'd like to be with me, you're going to ask whoever invited you here for the link. Have a blessed Saturday, guys. See you soon. Cheers. Love it.